visualization meditation. Such an important part of our practice. Visualizations can be very powerful. They can also recalibrate the brain in a lot of different ways because most of our brain is very visual and nonverbal oriented. So, thank you for trusting me with your practice today. For our little visualization, we'll be going on a mini vacation. Who needs that right about now? You'll actually snuggle up and make this very restorative. I've got a couple of towels. If you've got a bolster or some other things, pause and go get them. What I would recommend for this, as you lay back on your mat, is to have either a bolster or two rolls of towels or pillows underneath your knees to ease the low back. And then perhaps something else here, like a towel or a blanket, that you can fold into a square. And this square is simply going to come underneath our head so that it's at the top of our shoulders. And then as we come down, what I'll invite you to do is roll up underneath your neck until your neck feels supported. There we go. And if you have anything left that you'd like to push up and around and tuck underneath the head as like a little moat, you can do that, supporting the sides of the head and the ears. I've got in my AirPods, so I won't be doing that. But just making sure that you've got a nice little landing pad here. Once you've adjusted, take in a big, beautiful breath. Breathe everything out. Close down your visual gateways. And even though you've shut down the gaze, you're still very aware of everything around you. In fact, without even looking, you know everything about this mat, the way you've uniquely set it up. You know what the floor looks like around you. You sense the proximity of everything that's to the left of your space. You can see it in detail. You can see and visualize everything to the right of your space, remembering in detail what was on that side, how far away the wall is, any objects, people, pets. Noting what the space behind you holds. Sensing the room and the landscape in front of you. Remembering all those little things, little details that make this room, this container of where you are right now, what it is. And finally, just sensing the ceiling, anything that's above you. What color was that? Were the lights on or off? Are there any smells, any temperatures in the air that moves within the room? And now that you've got a good sense of where you are in space, come inside the internal landscape and take stock of what's here. Unjudgmentally noticing. And if there's anything that is draining you, taxing you, stressing you out, perhaps it's been there so long, you know that you needed to let it go years ago. That's okay. We're just going to take it off for a few moments. I'd like you to visualize your own bag or backpack. You get to decide what it looks like, decide in detail. And we'll just open that up wide now and place our heavy things in there. We won't need them for this visualization. So do take note of each thing that you're going to put in the bag. See it, smile at it, let it know that you'll be without it for just a few moments. And perhaps notice that there's some things that you might want to set aside that you didn't even notice were there to begin with before this. It's okay, take them off, put them in the bag. One last look, making sure anything heavy, taxing, old is away and in that bag. And let's close the bag up. Make sure it's secure. Make sure nothing can come out of it. And then simply visualize yourself placing it on your mat somewhere, maybe in between your legs or near you. Relaxing down and back now and feeling this lightness of breath and of being without our heavy things. As you feel the mat beneath you, I'd like you to sense that it's a safe mode of transport. It will take us up and away in a moment, and it will be done completely safely. Now feel as almost indiscernibly your mat or the space below you begins to lift off of the ground, taking your body with it, just to a hover. You can relax down and into it. And as you feel this, you trust where it's going to take you. See yourself lifting a bit higher now, going toward the door, out of the door, out of the building, and then floating above that building, that house, wherever you were, and just gently looking down from a bird's eye view as you take this smooth ascent, noticing the neighborhood and the land around it, noticing the season and the landscape of the season below. And as you get higher and higher away, just picking out a few familiar landmarks before they disappear out of sight as you enter the layer of clouds. And just feeling those clouds moving, noticing their color, their pace, what kind of clouds surround you. For a moment, you break through that cloud layer at the top and you feel the sun. You see the gorgeous, beautiful rays bathe you in light and nourishment. Take a moment to feel that here and now. Allow yourself to gently ease down now, taking a gentle descent in what feels like a slightly different direction. You re enter the cloud layer softly, making your way down through its layers. And as you get to its lowest layers and look down, you see the most beautiful, serene waters. Look at their colors right upon a sandy beach of an island. As you get closer, you begin to pick out little details. Notice the water and its qualities, not just its hues, but the patterning of color. How tumultuous or still the waters are as they lap against the island, the land. And as you get closer and closer and hover above the beach, you notice the texture of what's beneath you. This large, isolated, and safe place, landing almost indiscernibly down onto the stretch of beach. And as you land, you'll just take a moment to notice in great detail what is to your left side. Look to the right. Notice what's over here. Delighting in all of the little things that make your own private beach yours. Look behind you. Notice if there's any foliage, fruit, any topography. And then notice what is before you. Let's take a look up and see what kind of weather is above. Relaxing now in this serene space where we're undisturbed, feeling your body so relaxed and light. Nothing to worry about, nowhere to be. Just the magic of this visual. This vacation will not be a terribly long one, so anytime you feel like thinking about something else, come back to this space, come back to this magical place, rebuy in. And as we relax even further, the body almost seems to melt, to feel so light and heavy at the same time that it's almost like floating in the clouds again. Breath is free, no tension. Take a moment to notice that you still have this bag with you. Some things that might be heavy, unuseful, taxing, stressful. And you've got an option while you're here. These waters are cleansing waters. They'll carry away anything that you'd like to put in them. I'll invite you now to walk. Go ahead and grab your bag and just walk to the water's edge. Let's take a little squat and open up the bag, relook into its contents again, remembering what you put in there. And I'd like you to decide now if there's something in that bag that you might not want to carry back home with you. Perhaps it's better washed away. Visualize yourself taking that out of the bag. Look at it in your hands. And then go ahead and gently place it in that first little shallow edge of the water. See the waves coming to wash over it. And as the tide rolls back and away, it clears and is gone. Looking back in the bag, noticing if there's anything else that you would like to gently give away. Give yourself a few moments to do so and visualize it in detail. Knowing that if there's some things that you're not ready to let go of, it's okay. You're welcome to either let the bag be washed away as well if it's not needed, or to pick it back up, secure it, and come back to the mat. Come back to this supine position. Get ready to transport back. Feeling safe and secure now, feeling the ground below you, and then sensing that almost indiscernible lift to just a hover above your beach. Visualizing yourself come up little bit by little bit and looking down, perhaps smiling, taking note once more of this beautiful space that's just yours. See it get further and further away. And allow yourself to enter the cloud layer, so familiar, almost comforting. Notice if the clouds have changed at all. Let's crest at the top, right above the cloud layer, and feel that sun, its warmth, its nourishment. Very gently re entering the cloud layer, noticing that there's a little shift in the directionality now as you feel yourself lowering toward the place where you began. When the clouds have gone, you look down and you see that familiar landscape. You see your neighborhood, the land, any landmarks. There's that building you came from. Look at it, ready to come home. Lowering down now so that you can come in the entrance and guide yourself in detail by detail back into the room. Feel yourself hover right above the spot where you began, and then come all the way back down to this place and this space. Breathe in, cleansing exhale. Allowed to either stay in this relaxation for a few more moments to just enjoy, or to end this practice with the end of my guided voice. Namaste.